Welcome to the Quantum Manifestation Podcast. This podcast is designed to help you unlock your infinite potentiality and live your most successful and fulfilling life by eliminating the beliefs that are slowing you down or holding you back. I share quantum energy sessions, tips, tools, insights, and bring on industry-leading guest speakers to support you in embodying your next level through quantum manifestation, helping you to live your most aligned, authentic truth so that it becomes a natural unfolding rather than proving, pleasing, pushing, and forcing. Join me to create and live in the reality of magic, miracles, and exponential growth. Hi, Jocelyn Sandstrom, and welcome to this week's episode. In this episode, we are going to be doing downloads to remove the blocks that are getting in the way from your manifestations just easily dropping into your life. To be able to open up the surrender and trust in the divine timing, have faith without evidence that as long as you take aligned action every single day, the universe then gets to co-create with you. Because the most incredible things that happen in your life, most of them just dropped in completely out of the blue. Those magic emails, those chance encounters, whatever it might be that just showed up and you're like, wow, and it took you into a whole new reality. When you're in the zone and you're taking aligned action and you're in your most authentic truth, each step you take unlocks something else that the universe then gets to drop those magic and miracles into your life. So I already pulled the fractals, and the first fractal coming up is neutral. So the more neutral that you can get to your manifestations, the more that you can trust with faith without evidence that it's inevitable, that it's coming, as long as you take aligned action every single day and you stay in your most authentic truth and you speak your truth to the world. You don't suppress it, you don't compromise, you speak your truth to the world unapologetically. Because if you do compromise it or suppress it, you're just watering it down. And if you water it down, it'll never be able to make the impact that you need to make in order to bring your vision into reality. You'll just become one of all the other people that are watering down and suppressing their message, instead of that one that takes that leap and speaks their truth and might ruffle a little feathers, but does it in a way that innovates and makes a huge impact on the world. I saw a post today about Richard Branson, and it talks about where he was at the airport one day and his flight got canceled and he really wanted to fly to go and see somebody. So instead of getting frustrated that his flight was canceled and he wasn't going to be able to see his friend, he decided to go and charter a plane, and everybody that was meant to be on that original plane, he gave them a seat on it. And then he decided to start his airlines. He called Boeing. He said, I'd like to buy a plane and it's going to be called Virgin Airlines. And they said, okay, we'll give you a plane, but you got to change the name. If he had changed that name, it wouldn't have made the impact that it did on the world. So many people chose that airline because it was different, because it went against the grain, because people were tired of the typical corporate airlines and they wanted something fresh, they wanted something innovative. He did not suppress, he did not compromise. He channeled his truth and he brought it unapologetically to the news. And part of the reason why it got so popular was because the news that it generated because of the name. So trust in your gut, trust in your most authentic truth, and bring it to the world. Bring it to the world as neutral as possible. If you have any expectations, it will create limitations, which will create the opposite result. As well, if you have expectations, or if you hope that it's going to work out, or you're afraid that it doesn't, and you're praying that it does, that's all this unnecessary energy that's clogging up the pipeline from it dropping through. That causes a lot of anxiety and stress in your body, and you're no longer in the zone. So it's going to take a lot longer for your manifestations to drop in. As well, then creating becomes so much more stressful because you're hoping and praying and afraid and worrying and all these things. If you just cultivate your inner knowing and you know that this vision that you're getting is your soul showing you what's coming next, showing you what it came here to experience and what it came here to bring into this world and do its part in the evolution of the world, and you know that it's inevitable, now you just get to play. Now you just get to discover what you get to do, what you get to get better at, what you get to up level at in order to become the person for that to drop into your life. Then it becomes fun. It's a neutrality and it's a discovery. It's like this childlike wonder of, okay, I know this is coming, so now what do I get to do? And now let me open my email or let me do this and discover what dropped in now. with my alignment? What's the next thing that's going to drop in? What's the next opportunity that's going to come into my life? Rather than having expectations that if I do this, I'm going to check to see if it worked. If you check to see if it worked and you check for the results, you're killing the magic. It's like planting the seed and then digging it up constantly, seeing whether it's growing or not. You're going to kill it. So you just got to plant the seeds and then trust in the divine timing of it with absolute neutrality. If you notice that you're not neutral, whatever you need to do to shift it back into neutral, whether it's to break state, to go into nature, to do something fun, to take your mind off of it, to take away the seriousness of it so you can just play with it, so that you could have fun with it. Because the more fun that you have, the more magnetized you are, the more energy you have, and of course you're going to open up synchronicity. The next fractal that's coming up is core. So as I mentioned before, the more that you can strengthen your core and your inner knowing that your visions and your goals are for you, that you were born to experience it and bring them into this reality, that that's the gift that you are meant to bring to this world, the more that you can own it, the less wobble that you're going to have, the more that you can override the conditioned mind. Because all it is overriding the illusions of the fears that are going on in your head, because your fears are different than someone else's fear. And the only difference between you and them is whatever happened in the past that put this illusion into their head. So now you guys could be doing the same thing and you have a fear and they don't. But that thing is not dangerous. So when I went to go and jump off the rock at Waimea Bay, and I'm scared of heights, and I went, but I have this fear of heights. And so I was reprogramming it. And as I was reprogramming it, I see this 12-year-old that's just like running by me, jumping off, going around, jumping again. And when I saw that, I realized what an illusion my fear was. It was a fear that I chose to take on, that I made real. But this girl did not have that fear. And so she was just going about her life, enjoying it, totally fine. Hundreds of people do this every single day. So once you realize that the fear is just the illusion, that you know that no matter what, you're strong, you're resilient, you're the infinite power of your infinite soul, you become unstoppable. It will also help your conditioned mind and your paradigm and your ego to let go of the steering wheel and trust that you're going to be okay, because it's just there to protect you. It's there to protect you in case it doesn't work out. And then if you can't handle the pain and the disappointment and the embarrassment, it wants to protect you from that. But if you know that you can handle it, if you know that the only part of you that will get bruised is your ego, then you can go all in no matter what, and you can keep taking those steps to get there. Then you have opening up the interconnectedness of everything, the unity consciousness, helping you to rise above just your own individual needs and really open up to, for me, for us, and the world. Because when you realize that the thing that you're doing is not about the money, it's not about the business, it's so much bigger than you. It's the impact that you were born to make on the world. And when each and every single one of us makes that impact that we were born to make in this world, that's how we create the collective shift. The more of us that come together to collaborate, the bigger the shift we can create, because there's power in numbers. Just like in Finding Nemo, when the fish were caught in the net and one of the fish said, "Hey, swim down." And so all of the fish swam down individually, and when all of them swam down, they set themselves free. So it's up to each and every single one of us to do our part. In order to make a big impact in the world, you have to break out of the box. The ones that speak their most authentic truth are the ones that are heard the most. So then you have conflict and your perceptions around conflict. And I've shifted my perceptions around conflict a long time ago. I don't see it as conflict, trauma, crisis, or anymore anything that happens in my life. To me, what I see is an opportunity to up-level. If this is going on in my life, the universe is showing me that I'm ready to hold more. So who do I get to become to take it to the next level? What creative solutions do I get to channel? What do I get to now do to transmute this into something better than I could have ever imagined? Because sometimes we need to be shaken up to be able to create a change rather than more of the same. And so whenever something like that happens, I truly know it's happening for me, not to me. And now I get to decide, what am I going to do next? Now, what do I get to create from this? And I've been able to turn all my traumas into my biggest blessings. When I was on the way to the emergency room in my last miscarriage, the whole way there, all I kept saying was, this is happening for me, not to me. I don't need to know what it is right now. I just need to know that this is happening for me and something is going to unfold from it. And it was that miscarriage that set me free from that desperation and that being so consumed with being able to have a baby that overrode everything in my life, set me free to just be, to know that everything is in divine order, to be so grateful for the life that I have and the amazing son that I have, and discover the beauty of an only child, which I've never experienced in my life. And so now I've fallen in love with having an only child and I'm so fulfilled. But that never would have happened if I didn't grow through all of those things. And so now I know if anything is going to happen, I know it might not be comfortable. I know that I'm not going to like it. I know it might be painful, but I know that I'm going to transmute it into something better than I could have imagined. I know that through every single miscarriage, through every single trauma and crisis, I became stronger and stronger. And each time that I got stronger and stronger gives me the strength to know that I'm unstoppable. And then you have influences. So this fractal is going to help to remove the influences, to help you to stop living for the external and start living your truth. Because if you're living for the external, for their opinions, am I on the right track? Am I doing good? For external validation, you're living for everybody else. So when are you going to stop living their life and start living your life? Because this is your life. They don't have to live your life. You live your life. So why not live it in a way that sets your soul on fire? And it doesn't matter what other people think as long as you're living your best life. And you're going to find when you are in your alignment and you're in the zone and you're absolutely loving your life, you're going to find the most incredible people who are an energetic match for that. And anybody that isn't in alignment with it, that's okay. They'll find their energetic match. You don't need to take on their projections or who they need you to be in their story. Their opinions of you are none of your business. You just get to live your best life knowing that you're making an impact on the world and you are a part of the collective shift. Then you have reactions and behaviors. So getting out of reacting and starting to respond instead, starting to be in the solution rather than the problem. So when we react to something, we often create more fallout that we're going to have to clean up. But if we take a moment, channel the creative solutions, ground ourselves, regulate our nervous system, because if not, you're just going to keep reacting and you're going to keep creating more fallout and make it bigger than it needs to be. But if you truly know that it's happening for you, if you truly know that it's happening to bring you a creative solution, you're going to surrender into it so much more. There's not going to be as much emotions. It's not going to take you out of the game. You get to now just respond. So for me, if anything happens, if anything is overwhelming in there, they're like, this happens, and then this happens, and this happens, and then this happens, then I know in my core that the universe is bringing it all to me because I'm ready to hold more. So it's giving me an opportunity to practice to hold more. And so who do I get to be? Who do I get to practice? What do I get to practice? What new skills and tools can I call in to take me to that next level? Then you have judgments. So if you're living for judgments, you're not going to ever be able to really truly make the massive impact that you're going to make on the world. Because anybody that's ever made a massive impact on the world, people love them and people don't like them so much. So anybody, if you're talking about Taylor Swift, if you're talking about athletes, if you're talking about coaches and mentors, whoever it might be, you can't please everybody. So you can stop living your life because you're afraid of that judgment. Or you can cultivate the inner power that's so strong that it doesn't matter what anybody thinks, because you know that you have a vision, that you were born to bring in this to this world, and that it's so important because it's playing a part in the collective shift of where we're going, in evolution, not just in your evolution, but for the entire collective evolution. And so when you really own that, when you really own that you have a part to play in this, it's not going to matter what people think, because all of the people that innovated, all of the people that spoke their most authentic truth, it is inevitable that people are going to love you and not like you. So how do you hold it? You hold it with that inner power. You hold it with that knowing of that vision that you're bringing into this reality. You make that vision so much stronger than caring about whether someone likes you or not, because you know that if you don't bring this into the world, you're not going to be helping your people. you're not going to be serving anybody. So don't hold yourself back because of people's judgments. If you speak your truth and they are not in alignment with it, that's totally fine, because then they'll go find their people, and then you get to find the people who are truly in alignment with you, so that you could live a life that feels so amazing because you're your authentic truth. You're doing exactly what you desire to do, and you're bringing your vision into reality, making a huge impact on the world. So why would you not do that because a couple of people aren't going to like it? Set yourselves free from them, and also realize if you're not an energetic match for them, they're probably not an energetic match for you. So you're setting them free as well too. Then the next fractal is anchors away. So really just going full speed ahead. Like, this is it. Claim it, own it. There's no going back. You're all in no matter what. No matter if it's easy, or no matter if you have to transmute it and you have to pivot and you have to harvest the learnings. No matter what you're in, because why waste time anymore? Why waste time whether you think this is for you or whether it's going to work or not? You're never going to know unless you do it. So just do it. Every single day, do it. Claim it. Do something else. If you want to find your blind spots, look at the places that you're uncomfortable, that you know, your soul knows that if you just did those things that were uncomfortable, it would take it to the next level. So lean into those things that are uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable with lives on social media, and I also know that that's an incredible tool to reach my people. So then I just show up on lives and I practice and I get better until I get comfortable with it. Anywhere in your life that you're not comfortable, or you say, oh no, I can't do that, or I'm not good at that, that's where you get to lean in and you get to get good at it, because all it takes is practice. All it takes is doing it over and over and over again until it becomes your new normal. So why sit here and ruminate and overthink and wonder whether you're good enough and wonder whether you're really here to make an impact? If you have those dreams or desires, own that you were born to bring them into the world. Own the impact that you're meant to bring on this world, and let everything else fall away. If you are toward motivated in your vision, not only are you going to be more effective, but you're going to love every step of it along the way, instead of the wobble, the fears, the doubts, all of those things that are taking you out of the game. You open up synchronicity so your manifestations can drop in a lot faster, because I mentioned in the other podcasts, we are born an energetic match for our manifestations, for our goals, for our visions. It's just the limiting beliefs, the fears, the doubts, the worries, procrastination, all of fear of abandonment, rejection, all those things that are getting in the way from your manifestations, because now it has to go and weave through all of these things just to get to you. So let all of that go. If you spend your time actually taking leaps and taking steps instead of sitting here, a year from now, you're going to look back and be amazed at what you created. So take that point today, right now, claim it, own it, claim that you're brave enough to speak your truth. And if you aren't yet, practice it every day. Do whatever you need to do to cultivate your power every single day, so that it can override the conditioned mind, so that it can override other people's judgments and opinions and expectations and obligations of you, because you have a vision, you have a mission in this life, and you get to bring that into this reality, and nothing is going to stop you. And claim that this is your month, like this is your day, this is your year. If you claim that, you're going to show up every single day in a completely different energy. But if you're still doubting whether this is for you, if it's ever going to work, because you also got the hopeless fractal, like hopeless, that you've been trying and trying and trying and it's not working and you give up. 90% of us give up before the finish line. And so I truly believe the people that actually created that next level of success, the only difference is that they never gave up. They never gave up when it got hard. They never gave up right before the finish line saying, I guess it's not for me. They just kept going and going and going and going until it worked, no matter what. And if you study anybody that's ever innovated, you'll discover all the obstacles they went through that most people would just give up for. Like Disney, who got rejected 33 times before the 34th time he got approved for the loan. All of these people, all of these things that were so-called failures that never stopped them. because they knew what they were born to bring into this world. So cultivate that. The more that you cultivate it and you go all in, you're going to bring it into this world and nobody can stop you. Surround yourself with the most incredible team, coaches, mentors, so that if something does happen, you can shift through it so much faster, because it's so much easier to do it with a team than to do it by yourself. And so that's why I love having my mentors, and that's why I created my programs, so that I could support you in bringing your visions into reality, so that you could have a team, you could have a community. So if anything does happen, we get to support you so that you can transmute it that much faster. We get to help you to see the blind spots so that you don't have to sit in it and think about it and ruminate over it. It just gets to keep toward motivated. And if you just keep toward motivated, you're going to save so much time and energy from the overthinking and overanalyzing and all of that stuff, and you're actually going to live the life of your dreams. So then you have effectiveness. So once you can do all of this, you can be so much more effective. Once you can truly be neutral and you can claim that your visions and dreams are for you, that you're already born an energetic match. It's just stuff that you chose to take on, fears, worries, doubts, getting in the way. So let's knock them out of the way. They're not yours. Your soul is infinite power, infinite wisdom, infinite magic, potentiality, infinite wealth. You're not your conditioned mind. You're not your paradigm. You're not your ego. So let that get out of the driver's seat and start trusting your soul to take you on the ride of your life. Start trusting your soul and asking your soul every single day, what's going to bring the most value to my vision? And then taking those steps with faith, faith without evidence, doing it every single day, knowing that if you do, you're going to get there. Knowing that if you take that step, the next one is going to come in with such neutrality, with such play, removing the seriousness from it so that you're just playing. You're playing in this game to get to the next level. We take it so serious and then we forget what it was all about. It's a game that we get to play. There's no finish line. There's just, what do we get to create? And then once we create that, what do we get to create again and again and again? And let's see how much we get to create in this lifetime for the pure love of making an impact in this world, to support and serve others and love and live and create magic every single day. So for me, it's not just about my work. It's also about, how do I enjoy my life and indulge in my life and experience my life with deep, deep gratitude? How do I make magic every single day? Not just in my business, but in my personal life, in my own self-care, as a mother, as a wife, as a friend. How do I bring magic into the world? And then use that to inspire others as well too, because we weren't born to work. We weren't born to do. We were born to be. So let's be our most magnetic, aligned self and enjoy the process. Get out of the way, surrender, trust that the universe has your back. Trust that you're going to take these steps every single day, and then they're going to be the ones that drop the miracles in. I've actually been saying that. I'm like, okay, I planted all these seeds, universe, now it's your turn. Like, now it's your turn to bring in the magic. I'm going to keep planting the seeds, but I'm going to leave that up to you. When you can surrender control, surrender the how, surrender all of those things, the magic can drop into your world. But it's up to you to choose that. And yes, it's going to take some work, but if you do it every single day, you can override it. If you have a mentor, if you have a coach, if you have a team, if you create your own mastermind with your friends of people that are playing in the field of potentiality, it will be that much easier for you to be able to do it. So now I'm going to download these fractals to your C1 vertebrae and any acupuncture point, pressure point in your body, and shift it out. So everybody take a deep breath. So let me know how it goes. If you want to dive deeper, I have multiple programs for you. I have group work, I have masterminds, I have one-on-one mentorships. I also do a free Activate mastermind that I run every couple of months. So if you want to join, make sure you email me to get on the wait list. It's something that I love doing so that people could experience the breakthroughs that we get to co-create together. If you know somebody that would love these downloads and would benefit from this episode, please share, because together, the more that we share, the bigger ripple that we can make in this world. Thank you for joining me, and I wish you the most incredible week.